Well, we are studying and looking at the Scream painting, and we are going to create our own Scream inspired artwork. We're going to do a portrait, and I'm going to scooch this book a little closer so you can get a little detailed image of the Scream image and painting by Edward Munch. So the portrait and figure in the foreground kind of has this alien shaped, light bulb shaped head, and there's not a lot of detail in the head at all. The eyes are simply circles with black dots, and the nose is just two little dots with a circle oval shape for the mouth. And it's very painterly and gesturally, and this is an impressionist style. There's very little detail in the objects, just more about the color and movement and texture of the paintbrush itself. There's also two figures in the background, and if you look really close, there is a boat or someone in a boat, or there's actually two boats in the background. So our sky is oranges and reds and yellows, and our ocean or lake, wherever this person is blues, and there's also reflections of the oranges into the water itself. Now we also have a dock or boardwalk of some type that we're actually going to incorporate into our scene as well. So we don't have to incorporate the people in the background, and you can also create a different background of yourself too. So if you want to create things or objects in the background that maybe you find that are scary to you, that make you want to scream, you are welcome to incorporate them also. Just remember to keep them school appropriate. So I'm going to get my drawing area ready, and I'll meet you back to show you how to draw Edward Munch's The Scream. Now to create our Scream image, we are going to need a piece of paper, a pencil. I'm going to use Sharpie right away. It's up to you what you use and feel comfortable with. I'm also going to use, for my color, I'm going to use oil pastels. You are welcome to use crayons, markers, whatever you have, color pencils, and I'm also going to use some watercolors to go on top of my oil pastels and create a wax resist for some of my areas. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the figure, and the figure is kind of located in the bottom 1/4 of the page. So he's kind of like in this section here of our page. So he's like bottom right, and I'm simply going to start with a line. Now I'm going to mark where the top of his forehead starts. So I'm kind of going to draw him right here, and I'm just going to draw like a little curved line. Now this is the start to my forehead, and I'm not going to continue until I draw my chin. So I'm going to draw my two eyes. So I'm just going to draw a dot. Now I'm thinking maybe I'll come down, the width of my finger. So you can simply just take your finger, put it right underneath the line you just drew for his forehead, and draw two dots for his eyeball pupils. Now remember, the Munch picture and painting wasn't very detailed. He just had simple shapes. So I'm going to draw two circles going around his little eyeballs, his little dots. And then in the middle, come down a little bit. I'm going to draw two dots for his nose. That's it. All right. So now we got his oval shaped mouth. Just come down a little bit under his nose. And a little line underneath for his chin. All right. So now, pretty easy, right? Pretty simple steps, basic shapes. We can do this. Now we're going to kind of draw the shape of a light bulb, or even think alien head. Okay, so we're going to come down from our forehead that we drew. We're going to go outwards, and then we're going to start to come in, right, and then connect at the bottom of our chin line. Same thing on the other side. Now if I make a mistake, I'm stuck because I'm drawing with Sharpie. So whatever I draw, it's kind of like I got to draw and incorporated. Okay, so now his hands. Now his hands are kind of like above his ears, right? I'm thinking like Macaulay Culkin here in Home Alone, and when he screams, right? After he shaves and he rubs his hands with the, I don't know, whatever it is. It's like the aftershave, right? And he sticks him on, and he like burns. So he goes, ah! So just like the picture, I will stop this right now. There you go, Macaulay Culkin. Bam, there's the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw kind of like oval shapes coming down off his, like the middle of his head. And then one on the other side. And it's okay if you leave a little space right here. Okay, so now we're going to draw his forearms. His forearms are simply like long ovals. All right, so let's give him a neck, right? So 2 lines underneath his chin. Bam, you got a neck. And then you can connect this line and just make a vertical line that connects into his arms. And you can draw like a little shoulder down, and basically this is his body. There you go. So that's our guy. Really simple, right? So now I'm going to create the line, a horizon line. Now a horizon line is about above his head here. That was where it was in the picture, and it doesn't have to be straight because it's the ocean, right? And the ocean's a little wavy. All right, so in our sky, there's kind of like movement, right? So if you want to draw some lines and snake kind of lines and squiggles with your marker or pencil, just to give you guys some shapes on when to color, you may. All right. So our next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our boardwalk, or our, whatever it was, the dock, wherever they're walking. So about in the corner of your paper here, and if you have a ruler, perfect. If not, you can always use a box or another piece of paper and draw a line, okay? Just make sure, be careful not to draw through your person here. So I'm going to place my ruler at a diagonal towards the bottom of my corner, and I'm just going to draw a line from the edge. Now just be careful and go slow not to go through your person. Stop when you get to your person. When your person starts again, draw another line. Now there was another line a little bit here, and if you notice, it gets smaller towards the back and bigger towards the side. So gotta think of perspective, right? So we're not actually creating a dot and making it for real. We're just kind of eyeballing it here. And there was one more kind of close by the railing. I'm going to move my ruler down a little bit and create the opening from the rails. And there was rails that went this way. Oops, I didn't have a space there, but I'll just make it my own. All right, so there's basically our drawing. Now, I'm going to add some hair to my person because he looks kind of bald. It's totally up to you guys. You can design your person however you want to. I'm going to give my person some hair. All right, so there's my person. Now I'm going to add some colors. All right, so I'm going to add some warm colors, reds, oranges, and yellows in my sky, maybe a little blue. And I'm going to add some reflections in here. Also the same colors, and just use some blues and some greens for the water and some browns in here. You can also add the people that were here. You may. I'm actually going to draw some bats in my scene. Let's see if I can freehand a bat really fast. All right, so there's bat. All right, so I'm going to add color. You may too, however you want to use color, go for it. So markers, crowns, color pencils, whatever you have at home, you are welcome to use.